Shop Talk Tech Tips are brought to you by S&S, proven performance for the power sports industry.
What's up? This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, Grease and Gears TV, and we're back in the garage today working on the FXR Evolution ride-away bike. So if you guys aren't hip to this yet, the folks over at Dennis Kirk Garage Build have teamed up with us to do this project. Kind of, we're building a bike, you're building a bike thing, and when it's all done, they're giving it away. One of you guys over at Garage Build is going to walk away with this motorcycle after we've had the fun of building it. So tonight we're actually going to be working on the other side cover. You've already seen the videos at this point of us making the 3D model out of the EVA foam. Here's our EVA foam. If you missed this, you want to go back on our YouTube channel and check it out. We're going to move right into cutting some steel and making a side panel. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is transfer our three-dimensional model to our paper template. So I have a piece of poster board. No big secrets here, you know.
Just gonna make some rough cuts to get rid of my big material. Okay.
This is about 1 1/8 inches. So I need to come past my template 1 1/8 inches. The places where I have severe angles here on the top, I know these are going to be places where I'm going to want to make a cut line. I'll make a slice at these points so that as I'm bending those panels over, it has room to relief. So now the challenge is to come up with a way to have a tracing device that's 1 1/8 inches away from the material. Sometimes it's as simple as having a pen taped to another pen, sometimes more than that. So okay, so it looks like 2 Sharpies is the trick. I know I'm going to get all kind of hillbilly fan mail about this, but I don't have, they actually make a tool for this. I don't have it. And I have a lot of tools, and I press my luck with that all the time, so.
Proper templating is something I can't stress enough here. The better your template, the better you transfer your template, the better your overall end product is going to be. No matter how it is that you have to get the most accurate template, do that work and you'll see the results in the end.
A lot of times our new product spotlight is not necessarily on a motorcycle product, but a tool for the motorcycle shop. This is one of those products, the Eastwood Rotary Metal Shear, something that I've been wanting to buy for a long time, and I always look at it and I'm like, man, you know, it's $240, and instead I buy air nibbler after air nibbler and bust the tips off. I try air scissors, I try working the manual cutters, and I was finally over it, so I went and got this tool. Man, do I wish I would have got it a long time ago. I just cut out this template that we're using to make side covers for an FXR, and you can see in the video how easily this thing goes around corners, follows lines, and really just does a nice job with cutting out metal. And we're using 18 gauge steel.
Over on the bandsaw, I'm making my last few adjustments and cut lines.
Okay, so this is kind of uncharted territory, because normally I would take this over the belt sander now and like really, you know, clean up all the different areas, and there's not a whole bunch. I mean, a couple little pieces that I can address real quick with the flapper wheel. So all right, so from this point I'm going to get some gloves. We're going to take this over to the T-dolly and start making our bends. Now this is why I wanted to make sure that original line was on here, because I'm literally going to try to stick to this line to start my bend folding over. Okay, so for this next step we're going to be using slap hammers and T-dollies. T-dollies, I believe these might have came from Eastwood as well once upon a time. Different sizes, you know, you'll see we're actually going to start with the smaller T-dolly, and that's going to give us a tighter bend at first. I'm going to move up to these bigger sizes so I can smooth that bend out. Once I've established where it's at, I can start to shape how I want it to be. I'm going to use a slap hammer. These are just a block of wood with a strip of leather over it. And what this does, like if you go right away to using a metal hammer or even some of the body hammers, it starts to put indentations into the metal. So by using this slap hammer, especially on something like a T-dolly, it cushions the amount of blows. Like there's not dimpling in the face of the steel while you're doing some of this work. You want to eye out where your T-dolly is.
In spite of this video going very fast, take your time.
If you have good light, you can follow the crease line in the light. If you don't, hang something up so you do. Good light is good work.
As you start to fold the metal over with the slap hammer, you'll see the panel taking shape. Take your time, a little bit at a time, and keep moving around the outside perimeter.
So on this one, we're actually going to have to start with the middle and then work out to the ends. At this point, I'm not looking for a perfect fit yet, but I am starting to scope out like what some of my problems are going to be. Obviously, I can see right off the bat this is way too long, so I'm just going to go over the grinder and get rid of that. My curve right here, not nearly enough, so I'm actually going to take one of the round hammers to address that.
I wanted to put this footage in to show you that it actually takes a number of times of going back and forth to the different tools and fitting the part on the bike to get a good result, a good fitment for the part that you're trying to make. Of course, the magic of television makes this all look a lot easier than it is, but don't get frustrated.
Okay, so I'm going to start out by making some inside dimensions of this and about 3 concentric circles of areas that I want to shape. And again, someone else might have a better method for doing this.
Here I start at the deepest point of my shape.
That's where I want the deepest.
From that point, I move out to the second ring with a considerably lighter blow, and finally, I'll move out to the third ring, lighter still, constantly checking the shape of the outside perimeter of the part I'm making. By the end, I may change hammers several times, even moving to a rounded hammer to start to smooth out the surface.
So now you can see why I didn't worry too much about the fit a little while ago. Now that we got our body on this out here, I'm gonna go to work at smoothing it back out and hopefully push some of this back as I went a little too much. Good?
The Planishing hammer is a pneumatic tool that delivers thousands of blows a minute to the surface of the material. It uses a series of different size and shape dies on the bottom to achieve different shapes in the metal. It is, without a doubt, the most important tool in metal shaping like this. I left a lot of this footage in so that you could see the longer I work with this tool, the more smooth the surface becomes and the more appealing the shape in the end. Take your time, practice makes perfect.
So now that I got my initial work on the Planishing hammer done and I got this to the shape that I want, you can see that my my material has come in. I moved up to the larger diameter T-dolly, and I'm going to start working these edges back.
Remember, every time you do one step, you may have to go back and rework another area of the project.
Better. After many, many times back and forth with different size T-dollies, back and forth on the planishing hammer, you can see I've been going pretty hard at it on the planishing hammer to get my shape. I'm concentrating on the fact that I want this belly to kind of come out of here and then come down to where it gets flat again. But I'm about out of gas for today. One of the things that we're going to do is, you can see how this is still sticking up in the front here. When we come back, we're going to get on the shrinker and pull these couple lines so that follows in, and this gets down in there a little tighter too. So not too bad. We got a good start and a pretty decent shape started. So we'll come back to this tomorrow and see how we do. That'll be for next episode. Thanks for coming along with us. Get out to Dennis Kirk's GarageBuild.com today and check out the FXR Evolution. You can walk away with this bike when we're done. This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. We'll see you next time.